Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about these guys. Boxes. Oh. Because for the vast majority of us, we feel like we've been put in this and lived in this. And if we're spiritual beings in a physical body, what does this have to do with us? Yes, there's a little cutout because my daughter has done what all of us should do. Turn this into something else, into a little home for her dolls, the little door on it. She's created it to be something it wasn't originally. And so many of us feel like we're stuck inside of these. We feel like we're put in a box, we're stuck in a box. And this came to me through a client that I was working with one-to-one. Through the journey of her breakthrough, she said, Sarah, you know what it's like? And anytime your mind says it's like, there's a subconscious connection to the metaphor, to the parable, to the understanding of understanding what you haven't yet understood. There's this breakthrough, this awareness, this connection. I love when people say, you know what it's like? Like, tell me what it's like. Because oftentimes we're limited in our language. We're limited in our expression, because how can you truly use language to describe feelings? Because the feeling is a feeling. It's something that's happening internally. You can say things like tingly, butterflies, heaviness, but that doesn't fully describe the vastness and the expansion of what's actually occurring. When you say it feels like there's a heaviness in my chest, kind of heaviness, where in your chest? On the inside? Does it feel like it's sitting on top of your chest? Does it feel like it's inside your chest? Does it feel like it's ready to come out? What is the heaviness like? Is it like an elephant sitting on your chest? Or does it feel like when your child sits on your chest? Or does it feel like when someone lays their head on your chest? What? And we often get stuck. We often feel like we're stuffed inside of this box, and we're trying to just use words and language to describe what we're feeling and what we're experiencing. And so many of us feel like our life is off course if we're not perfectly folded up inside this box. And we don't fit perfectly, we don't fit beautifully if we're not wrapped in beautiful tissue paper with a nice little sticker on it that we could peel off and go, oh my gosh. Gifts do come inside of boxes, but being is that we're not shoes. We're not a phone that comes in a box. We're human beings. We're multidimensional beings. We've had a number of experiences that have shaped and molded us and created us into the person that we are today. And we may feel like the stuff that we're carrying, we're also trying to stuff inside that box. My client went on to share, you know what it's like? You know, when you go to a doctor's office or any office or any form that you need to fill out, you get your little form, you've got your little pen, you write your name. Okay, I know my name, I know my number, I know my address. Now start checking the boxes. What is your ethnicity? Well, actually none of these. Do I select other? If I select other, does that mean like an alien? Like what does that other mean? Okay. Married, divorced, single, widowed. Okay. What if I am divorced, but I've been divorced for a long time and I'm not going through the process of divorce? What if I'm single, but I wish I wasn't single? Now I feel bad because I need to select single. How long am I going to be single for? And your mind just starts going, you know, I wish I wasn't single, because if it wasn't for my ex doing this, you know, it just, and all the while you're sitting there going, I just put you inside this box here, and this box here, and this box here. And now you're feeling like a middle-aged low life because you have just had to define yourself by boxes. You've had to select and check that which you're not really. And so sometimes that can be triggering in and of itself, because that can bring up things, can make you realize where you're at, where you'd rather be, what you've gone through to get to where you are, and make you feel like you're at the end of your rope because you're being put inside of a box. Even simple things like completing a form just to receive some kind of connection or treatment or whatever it is. You're like, really? I mean, if you really want me to break this down, how many boxes I feel like I'm stuck inside? And that is the problem. That is the problem with the pain, with the trauma, with the past emotional and abuse and neglect that you've experienced. It can feel like it's trapped inside of you. It can feel like this physical body, this physical being, this physical presence is a box. And all of those things have been shoved inside of you, stuffed away, and you want to get them out. You may feel like your life is now stuck inside this box and you've checked all the boxes. Well, went to high school, graduated, check. Straight A student, check, because I didn't dare bring home a report card that had anything less than an A on it. Check. Went to college straight out of high school, check. 4-year degree, check. Continued on to get my master's, check. Met the love of my life in college, check. Got married, check. Had kids, check. Have a house, check. Got divorced, check. Now I'm just like everyone else. I'm stuck inside a box. Have a job because it's logical and practical, and it's what my parents expected me to do. Check. Smile and pretend that everything's fine when I feel like I'm dying inside. Check. Drink the night away every night in secret because I don't want anyone to know that I can't handle life and I really hate it. Check. Smile for pictures and post on Instagram. Check. All of these things, we can feel like we're checking our way through life, but we're not actually living life. Like that's not actually it. It can feel like that's it. Like you just checked the box. What I don't see the selection for freedom, for joy, for being myself, for happiness. Where are those boxes? Why am I not seeing those on here? Am I missed? I mean, hold on. That's it. Those are the only options. That's all I have to choose from. What about the box of emotional freedom, emotional regulation, the ability to process, the ability to handle things, the ability to have conversations, the ability to feel like it's safe for me to speak up and safe for me to set boundaries and safe for me to use my voice? What about I've done the work to remove the emotional trauma of what I've been through in my past. I'm no longer who those people who have defined me by living in a box believe that I am. I don't see that box. I'm sorry, excuse me, ma'am. Is there another form? Am I missing a page? Because, I'm just sit down and fill out the form. Okay. That's what it feels like. I've had that experience as well. Feels like you're stuck inside a box. And it's so fascinating because this metaphor, this parable, this analogy comes up so often, especially with one-to-one clients where they say, it just feels like I'm just stuck in this box. I've done all the things that I'm supposed to do, and I'm still XYZ. I'm still not happy. I still feel like I've just filled with anxiety. I still feel like I can't trust myself no matter what I do. I still feel like I'm unhappy in my relationships. I still. Yeah, I've checked all the boxes that I'm supposed to check. So I should be happy. I should be enjoying the things that I don't know, other people seem to enjoy. What's wrong with me? And so many people are living with that belief. What's wrong with me? Why is it that I've checked, and it's just not equaling happiness? It's not equaling excitement for life. It's not equaling feeling like I'm connected to my purpose. It's not equaling a healthy, thriving relationship. It's not equaling the ability to feel safe in my body. It's not equaling trusting myself and the world in this crazy direction it's going. It's not equaling feeling comfortable around other people. It's off balance. It feels like I'm stuck in this box, like a box of life. Like, this is it. Take your stuff and go. Feels like you're dispensable. Like you can be defined by a box. And that's not a very fun, it's not a very good feeling. It's not a feeling that anyone wants to live with. It's a feeling that I lived with for my entire life. It's a feeling that the vast majority of my clients feel like they lived with. They've lived with emotional manipulators, abusers. They've been with narcissists. They've done everything. I've checked all the boxes, and it still feels this way. What is going on? And what is going on is not something that any box, when checked, will lead you to happiness, because those are not the things that lead to happiness, that lead to inner peace, that lead to inner freedom, that lead to inner joy, that lead to inner trust. You can't put a box around those. You can't just check that on a piece of paper and say, well, here you go. I don't know. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't see anything wrong. Test all came back normal. Here you go. You should just be happy, okay? What's happening is an internal subconscious process. A mind saying, well, you should be because you checked all the boxes. And another part of you that says, but I'm not. I get it. I know that. I went to school for this. Check. I got the grades. Check. I got the diploma. Check. I got the certificate. Check. And now I've got the job. And now I'm making the money. And now I'm working the hours. I should be happy. This is what I worked so hard for, was to check all the boxes, and now they're all checked. But it feels like, is that it? Like that there's nothing left? And you're sitting there like racking your brain going, this can't be it. Please tell me this isn't. Because if I knew that this is what it was, maybe I would have signed up for something else. Maybe I would have looked for something different. I thought this was going to lead to that. And when you feel like you've checked all the boxes and you don't have that, like, what next? And that can leave you feeling purposeless, powerless, feeling helpless, feeling like, well, I don't know. Lead to sabotaging what you do have, because what's the point? You thought it was going to make you happy, and when it didn't, might as well go do something fun that does. And those are generally the things that you get into that temporarily bring you happiness, that temporarily give you that high. What you're looking for is something that cannot be put in a box. Your meaning, your purpose, who you believe you are, why you believe you're here, what you believe you're here to do, the impact that you believe you're here to make, the ability to make it, or the belief that you can't. It's far greater than anything that can be fit in or defined by a box. So that's what I specialize in working with people with, is people who are tired, who are ready to get out of the confines, feeling like they're surrounded, trapped by walls, and are ready to break through, break out, break free from that, from within. The transformation the healing, the inner work, the journey begins within. It's like you're stuck in here. I love my daughter. Like, oh, gosh. Get out now. The ability to break down the inner walls and get out of the box that you feel like you've been stuck in, that your life has been defined by, the inner barriers in your subconscious mind that say, get me the out of here. I am ready. I am ready to break out of this anxiety. I am ready to break out of the symptoms of depression. I am ready to break out of this loneliness, of this self-loathing, of this isolation, of this fear of all of the things. I am ready to get out of the box. And when you're ready to get out of the box and everything else you've tried has led you to being stuck inside of another box, and you realize it's something within me. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out on my own. There's a reason for that. The subconscious mind goes, boop, protective barrier, defense mechanism, coping mechanism, and leads you down a path that you've been down a million times before. That's why you feel like you get stuck in the hamster wheel of this. And you're ready to get out of the hamster wheel and break out of the box. Let's do it. Let's do it. Utilizing the power of your subconscious mind will be the key to, or the knife or the chainsaw or whatever it is, to get out of feeling stuck inside the box. Give you the ability to do what my daughter does so easily. And that's the beautiful thing, the powerful thing. You had this beautiful ability to imagine, to use your mind to create things, to see something as one way and now turn it into something different. To see this box that you've been stuck inside and create this little home, this little doll, something that does bring you joy, happiness, contentment, and excitement. So that's what's available. It is available to you. And if the other methods that you've chosen, tried to use, haven't gotten you to that place, I'd love to be your guide to getting you there. So let's do it. All right, guys, when you're ready to get out of the box inside your own mind, let's connect. You can find links in the description below to do so.